So after 3 weeks of teaching in a classroom setting, students have received an abundance of head knowledge. So these ministry trips are an opportunity for them to go out and use the tools that God has taught them in the classroom. Trips generally consist of about 10 days, and there is a large variety of things that students do on these trips. The goal for these trips is to cast vision. I like to call these trips vision casting trips.
We went to this fishing village way out in the middle of nowhere, and I remember we got there and there's these houses on stilts because there's water everywhere. We were at this family's house and there was this little baby, like just born, I think probably like 2 or 3 days ago. And I remember sitting there just like looking down at this baby and just like, who's gonna share the gospel with them? If there's no preacher, who's gonna go?
I'll never forget my trip to Sri Lanka. One Sunday morning, we got up early and we drove back into the jungle for a church service. The pastor told me a story of how religious leaders had beat him for running the church in that village. And that moment just asked myself the question, am I willing to sacrifice my comfort for the kingdom of God?
One of them in particular sticks out, and that's my trip to Cambodia. Most of our time was spent interacting with the village kids and teaching English. I loved every minute of it. It was sort of the turning point of my time at IGO where I could say that, yeah, I could almost see myself doing this the rest of my life. It helped give me some direction for my future.